Hey guys, welcome to the sixth episode of Mindshift. I'm your host Dimitri Wakov, and I'm really pumped up for the episode today. You want to be part of Mindshift, you want to listen to it. If you're interested in shifting your mind in different areas in your life so that you live your life with more determination, prosperity, and joy. Today I'm going to talk about mindfulness. As some of you know, uh, 22 days ago, I started a challenge called Self Compassion, which I'm gonna carry for 66 days. And the first 22 days, the main focus was mindfulness. What I did was I was meditating in the morning for up to 20 minutes, in the afternoon after lunch up to 5 minutes, and then in the evening up to 5 minutes. And I could say that the change which I have in my mind right now is astonishing, and I even couldn't imagine what happened. I feel way more clear. I'm better in my relationships. I'm really present in my work as a coach and in everything I do. Just the clarity and confidence I have is in different level. And I couldn't answer this question until I started thinking actually that the new thing which I introduced in my mind was mindfulness. The other thing was almost constant. And there is something there which created this shift for me. When people talk about mindfulness, the first thing they think is, okay, I'm gonna be cross-legged on the floor and I have to, do it for 1-2 hours per day or even more, or I have to have some special abilities, otherwise I can't do it, and so on and so on. And I thought also the same thing when I was introduced to mindfulness or meditation 3-4 years or 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly when was that. But I actually decided to try there. So I did it for the last 3 or 4 years, almost every day. But in general, I realized that I was not doing it maybe the right way. And I'm gonna give you here the insights which I received the last 2 weeks, which helped me to change the perception of it and the way I was doing it. The first thing is that mindfulness is not about not having thoughts and emotions and trying to control them in some way. It's the opposite one, which is we need to just be there in the moment and observe whatever is happening in our mind. And that sounds a little bit abstract, but let's say the good example is that we just have so many thoughts, emotions, different inputs which are coming from outside, from other people, from the world itself. And the only thing we need to do in mindfulness is just to observe this thing, acknowledge them, and then leave them to go. And it sounds really easy, but simple, but it's not easy. And this is actually the craft and the art of mindfulness that we create throughout doing it. The reality is that we don't understand exactly what is that until the moment we do it consistently, every day. Recently, I had a conversation with a client of mine who said that, yeah, sometimes I'm doing 20 minutes, but some days I don't have time at all for it. And the insight we came up with him was that he was seeing it as a task, which is sometimes hard to do because he didn't have time. And he was seeing it as some kind of that you need to do it for a certain amount of time, otherwise doesn't make sense. But then we spoken about that, and we realized together that actually the idea is not about doing it a very long time, but doing it every day. And this is actually what I did these days. I was doing it every day. I didn't put a time for that. I have to be 20 minutes. I wanted to be 20 minutes in the morning, but sometimes I could do 10, and that was perfect for me. And then afternoon, sometimes it was only for 1-2 minutes. But the idea is that we do it every day, and why we have to do that every day. So the idea of that is that wherever we do it every day, we actually teach our mind consistently of this skill to observe what is happening in the content of it. all of these emotions, thoughts, outside sensations of the body, outside inputs, all of them, we teach our mind to not deny them, not go with them, but just observe them and let them go. And why by doing that every single day, our mind actually changes its plasticity. Our brain changes its plasticity in a way that we start actually creating a habit of not getting involved in these things, but just observe them. And whenever we observe them and let them go, in a way, what is happening is that we can actually create our response not by being involved in them like crazy, but by seeing them objectively and respond to them constructively. So that is actually the biggest takeaway I got from that. Because the more we observe them, the more we start seeing them. Because whenever we are getting involved in things in our life, we forget. We don't have the perception of getting all of them, and some of them, they just take us unconsciously and we go into them without realizing it. But by mindfulness, being there every day and teaching our mind to observe them, then we started actually getting even the smallest triggers which create for us this involvement into them, and we can prevent us from really being defined by them, if you understand what I mean. So this actually happened for me this, as I said, these 22 days. And now today I had a coaching session which went through so smoothly without me planning for it. And the magic happened. Why? Because I was even speaking at the end of the session with my coachee that what happened was, before I was trying to more control the session because I believed that that's the way to do it, and I was anxious, and the session were going good, but some of them were like, it was feeling I felt a lot of tension. But now I didn't have these expectations because I realized through mindfulness that this is what created this tension. I had an expectation that I need to control the session. And then when I left this expectation, I was just present in the moment with the coachee. We were finding out what is the most important for her. And then the session was way more transformational. So this is another thing which you need to realize, that mindfulness is helping us to see these things and to decide with which things we can go and which thing we can just let go. That's the idea. So that would be actually my take away from mindfulness today. I really would love to hear your comments on that, and I'm just telling you, just go there. The most important things, and like John Kabat-Zinn said also, the most important thing is consistency and not expecting results from it. Just do it every day and you're gonna see how the things will be different in your life. Talk to you soon and have an amazing week.